Gotta hurry and get this done before dark catches up with me. Kind of warm one out here today. There's come a discussion came up on a forum that I belong to, and about chamber checking and loading and unloading and cocking your gun, and whether you use the forward cocking grooves or the rear or whatever. So this is going to be the gospel according to Cope. I don't care how you do it. I'm just telling you how I do it. So it's not to argue or prove anybody wrong or anything like that, but this is how I do it. It works for me. If you've been looking for a way to do it, then maybe this will help you. So the question, before I start that, I'm gonna take this gun and this ammo and put over here. Just to be sure we don't make any mistakes here. I've got this magazine here loaded with liberals, dummies, so you can kind of see they're all the same. They're colored and primers are removed, so got no problem there. I don't have any neighbors out this way for a long ways, so we're pretty safe here to do whatever. So this is Glock 19, and to load this, I would do what typically is called the overhand method. I'll bring this back here, keep it up close to me, watch where I'm pointing. If I'm shooting at a range somewhere, then I want to turn slightly and make sure that I stay pointed down range. If I'm out in the woods, out where it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. So it's easier to take the heel of the hand and your fingertips, make a little tunnel right here and get a hold of that gun from the serrations in the slide in the rear. And instead of trying to do this with one hand, you're going to push this hand that way, push this hand that way. Use the strength of both hands. Don't ride it. Don't ride it shut. Don't do like this and look and see if it's going to work. It's going to work. Just turn loose of it. That's what it's supposed to do. You should jerk it out of your hand, and it'll work. It'll load like it's supposed to. There are those that'll do it from up here. I don't like that. It's you're too close. What most people do is they overwhelmingly, I see people come up this way to come to the front of the gun. You're going right in front of the muzzle. Is it loaded? I don't know. Is your finger on the trigger? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Don't put your hand in front of the muzzle. I don't care. Now, if you're real careful and bring it up this way and come around to the top, it's a little safer, but you're still unnecessarily close when you get the same results, and probably better, from coming back here to the rear. So, and then there's the slingshot method that they call it. Slingshot. This is weak. It's awkward. It's hard to do anything else to the gun as far as malfunctions or anything. It's just not a good habit to get into. When you're firing a slingshot, of course, you grab it with these two fingers and you come out here kind of like a bow, and you turn loose of it this way. So the slingshot method, as they call it, is grabbing it from the thumb and the forefinger like this. I had surgery on this hand, and as capable as I am everywhere else, this makes it a little bit difficult for me to do. I can do it, but under stress, or if I had sunscreen, blood, sweat, anything on my blood, sweat, and tears, anything on my hand, it would probably be difficult for me to do. For a long time, we did it the way they used to teach out at front sight, and that's coming up under here, and that works pretty well. It keeps your hand from in front of the muzzle. Check your chamber this way, but it's not a loading position. You wouldn't load it from here. You would only check the chamber. So I believe I am adamant about checking that chamber every time I pick up the gun, unless I've been wearing it. I mean, there's maybe some few exceptions. But ordinarily, if I pick up the gun, or especially anybody else's gun or anything like that, I'm going to check the chamber. I don't rely on mechanical loaded chamber indicators. The Glock is dependable. It's not possible for it to be loaded and for this not to function right unless it's been filed down or something like that. I mean, if it's factory stuff, then it's going to work. However, we had an XD come into our shop, and you can ask Jason Duncan about this. Come into the shop one time, and it was so dirty and filthy that that loaded chamber indicator wasn't working properly. and he brought somebody, not Jason, but another guy brought a gun into the shop that had it around in the chamber. He ain't the first and only one that's done it, but that was an XD, and I'm just saying that the loaded chamber indicator didn't work. Other people say they can see in here and see if there's brass shining through here. Maybe you can. When the light's right on certain guns, maybe you can. What if you pick up somebody else's gun? What if you go down, something happens and you need to change guns or whatever, a gun you're not familiar with? Checking the chamber mechanically, physically works every time on every gun. I don't care what it is. So the way I do it, now that I've been graduated from or gotten away from the front sight stuff, is when I bring this up, I want to check the chamber. I'll roll it into this hand. You see we got the chamber check grooves in there. Glock is starting to do that. We put these in here, but Glock's starting to do that from the factory now. But I'm going to maintain my firing position on my hand. I'm just going to roll this into my hand, into the web here, and I'm just going to pull that back slightly and look and see if there's a round in there, and then pull it shut sharply and go on about my business. Whatever has happened, if I need to check, I can just pull that back this way. If you look at it from this side, I can just bring this back, look, and go right back into the firing position. If it's night, if it's dark, or I got things going on here I don't need to take my eyes off of, I can simply do the same thing here, pull that back slightly, and stick my finger in there and see if I feel anything in there. And you can do that very quickly, very surely. Instead of trying to get into a street light or something where you can see this right, just pull it back slightly. Even with my surgery in this, I've still got a lot of strength here. If I bring this right up into here, I don't need these knuckles. I just kind of drape that across there, and it just, I don't need any strength there hardly. But here, you need a lot, and you need, if it's slick, you can't do it. Overhand works great, sure. The thing about overhand, though, if you're just checking your chamber, is too many people try to do this out here, and they do this and they go too far, and then they get a cocked round in there that they have to dump out and clear. If you're going to do that, bring it up to your body. Don't pull this back. Just rock the gun forward. Rock the gun forward and peek in there and see if you're loaded or not. I don't like this. This is very difficult for the low light check. It's kind of hard to do. I like it better this way. It was okay the way front sight did it. I like this better, and I can, if I wanted to, I can load from here if I needed to. It's very smooth, very fast. If I've got problems going on with my hand somewhere that I can't grab it properly or something, I can do it from here easy enough. The strength that you need here is very minimal. I can actually do this with one finger. 2 fingers is easy. 2 middle fingers, these 2 fingers, doesn't matter. It's real easy to do it from here. But it's still not my preferred method for checking the chamber. That's for loading and unloading only, or cocking the gun as they call it. So now there's something else that I was going to make a different video on. What did I do with my, must have took that other magazine over here. What the heck did I do with it? Oh, that's it. It's the, I knew I had it out here. That's the one with the dummies in it. My real one's over there. So one other thing I was going to make a separate video on one of these days, and I did never get around to it. And that's what happens if you need to load this gun and this hand is otherwise unable to work. You're wounded. Somebody's got a hold of it, you're carrying a kid, whatever the case may be, you're not able to use this hand. So it's pretty simple. Just come out of the holster and come straight up, come straight down, and you'll be loaded. There's my round I took out of there. Okay, empty chamber. Now, if you're wearing spandex, this probably doesn't work as well. But if you just want to come up, you don't have to aim for your belt, your pants pocket, or whatever. Just go straight down. What does that thing say? Tablet overheating, it says. All right. Well, let's hurry so it don't overheat. I'm overheating too. I want to go in the house. So just come out of the holster. All right, I learned something there. Need to get some shade in there for that tablet. The sun was right on the back of it, and it overheated and shut me off in mid-sentence there. So I was about to finish up anyway. What I was going to show you one more time is how I do it. You know, there's people that do it on their boot heel and all this kind of stuff. But it's faster for me to just go straight to my back pocket. I can come out, no matter, I usually wear appendix carry. Even if you're coming, doesn't make any difference where the gun is. You just draw the gun and go straight down. I think I missed it that time. Yeah, I did. So you just come out of the holster, straight down, and you should have a chambered round there. Okay. Is that dangerous? No, I don't think it is. When I come back to here, I'm staying within 18 inches, 2 feet of my body. I'm coming here, the muzzle's going slightly to the rear. Even if it were to fire right here, it's going to hit the ground about 2.5, 3 feet behind me. So finger off the trigger, of course, rack it, and come back. The muzzle never leaves this 2.5, 3 foot circle right here, or 2.5, 3 foot radius from me. So even if something were to happen, your butt's not in any danger. You're not going to shoot yourself. So that's more of the gun gospel according to Cope. You guys can take it and do with it what you will. And me and my tablet's going to go in the house where it's a little cooler now. So thank you for joining me, and if I find something else to babble about one of these days, I'll make another one for you. Good night.